Hello, everyone. Today we are going to solve an equation that has fractions in it. I love, love, love fractions because we can find them all over the place. However, in solving equations, I hate to say it, but I get rid of the fractions. I want to make it as easy as possible to solve, to be able to visualize this equation. So we're going to eliminate the fractions to start the problem. But before we do that, let's take a look at Emoji Betsy. She says, "Hey, math mates, how is an equation like a seesaw?" If you know the answer, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Otherwise, I will tell you at the end of the video. All right, let's get started here. Solve for x. 5, 6 times the quantity, 3 times x minus 4 minus 2/3 equals 4. The first thing we're going to do is put that line right through the equal sign to separate the two sides of the equation. Then we are going to eliminate the fractions. So I want to start by putting brackets around the entire equation. Now, I want to look at the denominators of our fractions. When I look at the denominators, I have a 6 and I have a 3. I want to use these numbers to find a common denominator, because what we're going to do is we're going to multiply through by the common denominator, and that will eliminate the fractions. So take a look at the bigger number 6. Will the 3 go into 6 evenly? Yes, 3 goes into 6 twice. So 6 is our common denominator, and that's what we're going to multiply by. When we do this, watch how I do this. I divide the bottom times the top. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. Times 5 is 5. Again, 6 divided by 6 is 1. Times 5 is 5. This is all one term because it's 5 times this. Now, we've got another term here. Remember, the plus and minus separate the terms. So I'm going to go 6 divided by 3 is 2. Times the top, 2 times 2 is 4. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Times the top, 2 times 2 is 4. Equals 6 times 4 is 24. We've multiplied every term by 6, so we're not changing the equation. Let's go on. Next, we need to look at what's in parentheses. I have 3 times x minus 4. These two terms are not like, so I can't put them together. So the next best thing we can do is take this 5 on the outside, it's a positive 5, and multiply it by everything inside. So a positive times a positive is a positive. 5 times 3x is 15x. A positive times a negative is a negative. 5 times 4 is 20. Now I've distributed the 5 all the way through the parentheses. Now we can bring down this negative 4. And we can bring down our 24. When you look at the left side of the equation, you have 3 terms, 1, 2, 3. You don't want to have more than 2 terms before you start moving things to the other side of the equation. You could still do it, but it just makes it a little easier if you narrow it down a little more before you start moving things. So we're going to take a look at this left side. I've got 3 terms here, which tells me I can put something together. The 15x, there's no other x's, so I'm going to just bring down the 15x. That takes care of that. But now I've got a negative 20 and a negative 4. How many negatives does that give me altogether? 24. And then I can bring down my 24 on this side. You see how when I circle it, I circle the sign with it? Make sure you do that so you don't forget about your signs. Next, I want to solve for x. Right now, I have 15 times x minus 24 equals 24. I don't want 15 times x for one thing, and I certainly don't want minus 24. So I'm going to box off the term with the x. We'll do that last. And then we're going to move what's ever outside of that box to the other side. So I've got a negative 24 here. To move it to the other side, we're going to add it. Whatever I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So there we go. Now, by doing that, if you look, the negative 24 and the positive 24 cancel. And you're left with 15x equals 24 and 24 is 48. But do I want 15 times x? No, I want x. So they're timesing by 15, so I'm going to divide. And when I do that, 15 divided by 15 is 1. These cancel. And you're left with x. Now, on the right side, we have 48 over 15. 48 over 15. First of all, it's an improper fraction because the bigger number is on top. But also, when I look at this, 3 goes into 48 and 3 goes into 15. So let's divide 3 out of the top and bottom. When I do that, 48 divided by 3 is 16, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. That's a little easier fraction to work with because the numbers are much smaller. So now we can ask ourselves, how many 5s can fit into 16? 5, 10, 15. 3 of them. 3 makes 15, and we got 1 left to get to 16. So there's my answer, 3 1/5. Now let's take a look at what Betsy asked. How is an equation like a seesaw? It only works when both sides are balanced. I love it. I know it's a little corny, but it's something, right? Let's have some fun here. Let's relax a little bit. So if you have any questions, you know you can ask me in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you go on to the next video because, again, it's going to be another equation, maybe a little different than this one. And if I'm being of any service to you, any help to you, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a great day.